Before installing the beacon onto the asset, you must install the battery. Unthread the cap and insert the battery with the plus sign facing up. Press down on the sleeve to ensure good contact. Thread the cap back onto the beacon and ensure it is on tight. When doing a bulk install and to gain efficiencies, pre-load batteries into the beacons. Refer to the Kahi knowledge base for best practices on assembly line processing. When installing the beacon onto the asset, make sure to pick a location where the beacon will be protected and avoid getting damaged by impact. Use the screws and bit provided to affix the beacon to the asset. Reference the Kahi support knowledge base, Getting Started, to find the best suited locations for restoration equipment. Now that the beacon is installed onto the asset, open the Kahi app and begin the provisioning process. After you have successfully logged in once, the app should open on the scan screen. If not, click the menu button on the upper right and select Scanner. Scan the QR code on the face of the beacon. A new screen will open where you will enter the details of the asset. For the unit ID, either use the last 4 to 5 digits of the asset serial number, or if you already have ID numbers on your assets that you would prefer to continue with, you can enter that existing ID number instead. Next, select Type from the drop-down menu. Your asset types should be already pre-configured into the system. If you are missing one, contact support to have it added immediately. Next, select Manufacturer from the list or create a new one simply by clearing the text box by pressing the X, then type in the manufacturer. Hit Return or Enter on your keyboard, and then the arrow back on the upper left to continue. Next, select Model or create a new one, similar to the previous step. Leave the name field empty and click Submit. The app will then open your camera and walk you through the process of taking photos of the asset. Once you take a photo, you can either choose to use photo or click the X to retake a new one. The system will guide you through taking a main image, usually the front face of the asset, then the serial ID plate, and lastly, where the beacon was installed, followed up by any additional photos you may also want to take. Once complete with taking your photos, click the double arrows on the right. The system will take a few moments to configure, and then the screen will refresh displaying the asset you just provisioned. Most important part, please make sure to verify that the unit is showing online. You can verify this looking just above the QR code on the screen.